going to be going for here. With a bit of drop control, they can choose to go wherever they like, which means Reason Gaming have to play to a site. They can't split up. They can't go for a risk or a gamble. It's going to be Karma up first, finds the headshot. PTScale goes down, looks for the second and the third, and he absolutely destroys them. 2 players alive. Armor, Panya, 1, 2, and now just Jax remains. UMP coming in from behind. This is a very powerful position as he finds Karma. Easy kill comes in. Now Cinder once again on his own, but it's a 1 versus 1. The bomb goes down. There is so much time to play with for Jax. He's been spotted. Cinder tapping away. Be careful, you're only on 15 HP. If you burn, you're dead. I'll guarantee that. UMP could be the key, and it will. Jax just spraying down.
I think you would have broken the desk that time as well.
Pardon?
I think if you saw that, you would have broken the desk that time.
Oh yeah, I would have. Yeah, I would have gone through it, mate. I'd have been on the other side, in the words of Adele. Anyway, PTScale just holding back, and there it is. Mortar Strike comes in. Broadsword strikes, and PTScale will find the kill. Hajmi getting a little aggressive there as Thomas will take him down. Luckily, PTScale is still here and doing damage. Cinder wants to take him down, but he can't. PTScale with the headshot, and goodbye, Cinder. 5-1 on the board. Hoodlum, the last man alive, he will spot out 1. PTScale flashes him up. 4K in the... And Thomas finds the kill. Now in a 2 versus 3. Opportunity is back and open. This gives Reason Gaming one last shot into this game. This is their last opportunity to play, if they can play. Lambert finding 1, there it is. The kill comes in, looking for Thomas. He can't quite find the flick. The Timactic comes out. He's using the Tech 9, but he can't. And it's a 1 versus 1. PTScale finds the first kill, looking for the second. Hoodlum, 5 HP to play with. He has to find this kill. He has to get the defuse, and he can't. The headshot.
Alright, so starting with the first game of the Elite Series that has just been for week 2. It was Reason versus EnVyUs Academy, as we've just shown some highlights for. First map went on to Cobblestone, and obviously you got to remember that Reason won on Cobblestone against Epsilon last week with a very dominant performance on that. So going into it, I imagine they were fairly confident, but it just didn't work out that way for them at all. Pretty much for the whole first map, at the very minimum, EnVyUs just took complete control. VKL was just absolutely amazing, as was Haji. And you've got, like, to be fair, as you can look from stats wise, like everyone's KD on that EnVyUs team was rock solid. Reason just couldn't manage to get it going, and that kind of continued into the second map as well, which went on to Inferno. It was a 7-16 victory for EnVyUs on Inferno again, and it was a relatively comfortable victory throughout. To be fair, Reason didn't put that many troubles onto the EnVyUs side, as you can tell from the KDs across both maps, which are shown on the stats next to me. Yeah, I think it was just a week to forget for the Reason team, to be fair. I mean, going into it, everyone probably expected EnVyUs to come out winners, but after the kind of last week's showing with Reason versus Epsilon, then that probably turned some heads a little bit. But yeah, overall week to probably forget for Reason going forward, and hopefully, to be fair to them, they can kind of just forget it, move on, get on to next week, and try and take the victory going into that one.
There, but he pulls off the flick of his life as he hits the head of Freddy B, taking him down. Hungry as well, as they just storm their way through, not messing about at all. Maeve gets tagged down early, but it's only 2 HP. They have the crossfire, but the flashbang comes in somehow. He still fights through the blind. There's a hat trick.
Well, he gets caught off guard and gives up that B-bomb site for free. Let's see if he can hold it down this time.
Thing is as well, it depends how calm and collected they're going to take this push towards the B-bomb site. If they're not clearing their angles like this, with the confidence that Method have, they're just going to try and take the fight to them. They pull it off the bag as well. Weber getting that first frag, even though he falls at this point. They've scavenged the AK. Stanley could be so effective into the round, but it's not going to go that way. Smooth with the spray down as he is getting these frags off. That's going to be the hat trick for the man. Hungry for the quad kill, as he will eventually take.
So let's see. The problem is that you can see if Jenko doesn't find a frag here or gets traded instantly, that leaves Nilzini in such an awkward position. He needs the frags.
Smear on the contact up as well, can normally be a nuisance, but Jenko kicks it off. They're not aware of the location of Nilzinho as well, as he strikes and gets the double kill. And he's in the rear. Maeve running straight past him, but he's not going to clear it. Barbar's quick on his heel. For that contact play, but the thing is, they knew Smear had the AWP out. You don't use the smokes. You know he's been consistently over there. It just seems messy. Deagle play coming out, though.
So Cosmin towards B short, finds himself 3 frags versus the Eco. Not going to be hyping this one up too much.
Right, so going into the second game of week 2, it was Method versus Epsilon. Now this one was going to be a close one from the outset. Obviously before the Elite Series even started, then everyone was kind of piping Epsilon to be the team that's pretty much going to be running away with it to an extent, and Method being the best UK lineup from everyone's perspective. So going into it, Obviously both teams off the back of a 1-1 draw in the previous week. It was always going to be a difficult one, and first map it went on to Cobblestone again, and Epsilon just seem to have a few problems on Cobblestone at the moment. Method coming out of it, Jenko going ham, like everyone, as you can tell from the stats for the most part. It was a reasonably good collective effort from the Method team. No one was fully running away with it throughout both maps. But yeah, Epsilon definitely seemed to have some problems on Cobblestone. Moving over to Mirage, it was slightly more of a comfortable victory for the Epsilon roster, who seemed to look a lot better, a lot more communicative. Everything seems to be a lot more smooth sailing on that. And to be fair to the Epsilon roster, like they're still blending, they're still kind of meshing things together. So it's going to take a bit of time for them to kind of realise everyone's full potential and see who plays better in what role and for things to tick over. But yeah, I mean, overall I think Method, as much as they're probably going to be kicking themselves a little bit because of out of the 2 weeks, then I'm positive they definitely would have wanted one clean 2-0 victory from both of them. But at the same point, going 1-0 against two very good teams. I mean, last week it was XL that struggled on Nuke a little bit, and obviously this week struggled on Mirage, but against a very good team. So it's not looking bad for either team, for Method and Epsilon. It's just there's certain kinks that I'm guessing they both need to kind of work out, but I'm sure going into next week's matches and the ones past that things will pick up for them both.
On the face of Mr. Pickles, as the plant, it's pretty open, but there's 2 smokes. There's a Molotov to play with. Mr. Pickles on 4 kills so far. As the smoke goes down, the molly also will fall. That Snake being baited into this one a little bit. He will take down Mr. Pickles, and he doubles it up. Jumping with joy. It's done. It's done. Imi, the last man alive now. 1 versus 3. 1 versus 2. He's making it happen. The flank is coming in slowly but surely. Trials needs to be very careful here. If he overpushes, overcommits to the angle, he will put his team in trouble. There's murmurs going on up on the stage. I can hear them talking. But can they figure out how to win this one? A minute left on the clock.
Nothing he can do there, and Mighty Max, he's got to come up huge, looks for the first kill, gets a huge shot onto Mick. Can he make another one? Is it going to happen? He's dancing around, he's being pushed from both sides, drops the flash out, nice headshot onto Red Snake, and he's only got Fry to deal with. Fry, 42 health, an AWP, and a dream. Can he make it work? Mighty Max coming in for the clutch to keep his team in, and he does it.
It's now all onto Mick. 39 HP, will find himself the kill onto Jess. No need to peek that, but I guess do it anyway. 20 seconds remain in the round now. Imi on a 3K so far. Can he close this one out? Mick already been tagged up by Imi through the wall. Imi's recovered the bomb. He's going to be putting that one down with 10 seconds remaining. Lovely play coming in. The flash will fall. Does absolutely nothing as Imi sits on that site. Very, very confident spot.
Alright, so the third game of the week was indeed Endpoint versus Team Infused. Now, both teams off of the back of 2-0 defeats from the previous week. New maps this week as well. So this week it was on Cash and Mirage, 2 maps that neither team did play the previous week. And the Cash game especially, it was a very, very back and forth game. I think at this point both teams are pretty much in positions where they know they've got various bits to work on, and it's not quite optimal the way things are going at the moment, and they're still trying to kind of work out what's the best way to do certain things, just trying to mesh together and kind of get things rolling to the way that they actually want it to go. But I'm sure that will obviously come within time, so obviously it was a good match to kind of put these two together and see how it would go. Like I said, Cash was a very, very tight game throughout. Both teams making certain mistakes, both teams capitalising, some very, very good plays from both teams as well. So then obviously moving on to Mirage, which was the second map, Infused managed to take that relatively comfortably. Endpoint not looking their kind of usual selves of what you'd kind of expect from the Endpoint lineup in that particular map. And it was it was very, very to and fro. I mean, again, looking at stats wise, Pickles leading the way for Endpoint. Imi came in at various clutches throughout it as well, but everyone putting in a good team effort. And on the Infused side, MCK and Fryer 1 was just absolutely smashing it. Red Snake had a couple of iffy moments and a couple of clutches as well, to be fair to him. So yeah, I mean, again, it is still early at this point. We're only in week 2. I think by the point we get to the week 4 or 5 mark is by the time that you'd expect teams to kind of be settled down a little bit more. But going from this point onwards, like, I think Endpoint definitely are going to be trying to pick up some more results in an urgent fashion going forward. Probably not the start that they would have wanted. Obviously it's the same for the Infused lineup, but the Infused lineup has had 1 or 2 changes in the roster from previous week to this week. I'm not too sure what's necessarily going to happen with that going forward, as to kind of if 1 or 2 do get changed out and rotated as well. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with that on both fronts. But again, I mean, the same's going to apply. I'm probably going to say the same thing for most teams' matches. Is it's still kind of early. People are still working out the best ways to do it. Obviously, and it allows people to kind of focus and work and watch demos of the teams that they're up against next week as well, and actually fully be analytical about them. So yeah, it'd be very interesting going into next week.
This trio needs to start doing work. Windansky will find 1 headshot back on towards Calais, but there's still 4 Ts remaining.
Bomb towards ramp. Arch as well towards Palace. Lazar, if he finds 1 frag, Arch can just cover him. Try to go for that refrag afterwards. Let's see the smokers faded. He gets the tag as well onto Kola. This could be the round here.
Oh, that could have been huge if he landed the second shot. Lazar trying to calm himself down, overreacting a little bit there. He's going to get punished because of this. Kolor takes him down with the AWP. It's a 3 versus 2, but Windansky peeks out, takes down Kolor, gets the spray on towards Archer as well. The bomb is down in the middle of the site. Quicks has to be fast on his feet to grab it and commit to the plant here as well. A 1 versus 2. So many angles to watch now as well. He is in open ground. He gets given a grace period, though, Snods, to back off towards ramp.
Able to go back towards ramp. Has the flashbang. Windansky here with a 3K. Can he make it the quad kill? 2-3. This is such a big round here for Excel to win.
Facing together, trying to go. They should be mollying it out, try and force them out of position, then just play together on these frags. Kolor coming in with a retake. The AWP isn't that efficient right now because they're already on the site. It's going to be awkward, but they don't. Clear by truck. Quick speaks out, takes down Jacob. Left in a 1 versus 2. Lazar, he knows that Kolor's tagged down low, but he has to take down Quicks. The aggression coming through, he gets legged. Quicks leaves him in a 2 versus 2. They have the health advantage. They just need to play together. There is the Molotov on Kolor, but he's trapped down on the site. He's not in a prime time angle, and he dies. This is a huge play now. Left in a 2 versus 1 against Slap. No Molotov. He just has to play off audio cues, try and peek at the right time when they're on the defuse. Lazar just needed to cover Connor, but Connor comes off. They get themselves in a 3 versus 3. Connor kicks it off with a bang. Flamboyant stuff coming out as he starts to do a little bit of work. Picks off 2 of them, leaves it in the hands of Slap, who's forced to fall back, trying to make that noise though.
What can he really do? They know exactly where he is towards Pop Dog. Bomb is drop there towards Electric. Does have sight of if he peeks. Spots out Windansky. Goes for the face. They know exactly where he is though. Jacob and Windansky both have no armor, so if he goes for the body shots and the tags, there's a chance here.
It is possible. Spots out Windansky's aware of both players' locations. He just needs to try and play his cards right here. Spots out the bomb as well now as he floods his way towards the site. Grabs the kit in the walk and lands a sick headshot on towards Jacob. Brutality as he lands it. Gonna go for the straight commit as well. Windansky tiptoeing over. He comes off, tries to fire back, struggling, but...
Alright, so the final game of week 2 was indeed XL versus Prophecy. XL obviously coming off the back of the 1-1 draw with a Method in the previous week. Dominant performance on Nuke, not so much on Mirage. Prophecy coming out of the reasonably comfortable 2-0 victory against Endpoint with a 16-5 win on Train and a 16-10 win on Overpass. Prophecy, I think everyone was kind of expecting initially anyway Prophecy to kind of do well, just international lineup, some good stats from players from what people had seen before, but no one really knew what to expect. And to be fair, like another 2-0 victory against the XL lineup, which people maybe were expecting XL to kind of maybe come up a bit chance, but both games are relatively close. In fairness, it was a 16-12 win to Prophecy on Mirage and a 16-10 win to Prophecy on Train. Overall, it was a mixture of kind of the way that both teams were playing. Like Prophecy were going for very much the contact plays in a lot of scenario, and they always felt comfortable with it, which is a very, very confident thing to see from people that go for contact plays really repetitively. I'm not too sure if XL were kind of expecting that as much as they did, but yeah, from XL's point, I mean, I guess they were kind of happy off of the back of last week of managing to get that draw with Method, but I mean, considering how well they did play in certain stages of this game, then I'm going to be reasonably sure they were disappointed to at not least come out of it with a draw. But you have to give mass props to Prophecy at this point, like Quicks, Kolor, Calais, Arch, Slap, like literally all of them are doing very, very well together. The XL side, again, it's a weird one to kind of see what we're expecting. I mean, a very, very talented lineup. I think Lazar's still in a point where maybe looks a bit trying to go for the audacious a few times here and there when maybe he didn't need to, but the guys and very, very talented, so I'm sure soon enough that will kind of balance itself out. Connor, Jake and Boast to win Dansky. It's a lot of talented players there, so I'm sure that Excel will still pick it up. I'm going to say everyone will pick it up, and obviously everyone's got to play each other for the most part, like what's remaining anyway. So as much as I say that, then who knows at this point. But yeah, very dominant performances from Prophecy over the course of the 2 weeks to kind of round out all of the games. Looking very, very good so far from their perspective, so generally good job for them, and it'll be interesting to see what happens in the future weeks. Alright guys, that will be the end of the Gfinity Week 2 CSGO Roundup. Tried doing something a little bit different with this one, so let me know what your thoughts are on it. Still got some kind of bits that I still need to improve on, I get that. But yeah, obviously remember to like, comment, subscribe, hate, whatever it is you feel like doing today. By all means, like, really appreciate it if you do hit the like button and comment, just to see if I'm actually, if it is stuff that's worthwhile doing, if you do enjoy watching it. So please remember to do that, and other than that, peace.